3 hams will certainly kill him. 3 hams.
Hello, and welcome to the Cowboy Rants. Today I would like to talk about something. It's just going to be a quick rant, mostly because I didn't have a lot of stuff prepared. You might notice that the lighting's a little different, but that's okay. I want to go ahead and talk about something that's going to be coming up May 27th, something that a lot of us out there are really, really looking forward to, and that is, of course, the next Dresden Files. This is Cold Days, and just to talk about it, for those of you who have not, well, are itching for it, but those of you who haven't seen it or actually read it or have actually not read any of the books, what you need to do is stop right now, go read the books, and be happy, because they're that good. Okay, so those of you who want to listen to this, listen. That we're gonna talk about Cold Days and what we think is going to happen. And those of you who have not read any of the Dresden, that don't care, keep listening. Those of you who have not read Cold Days yet, get out there, get it, and I'll let you guys stop and not watch this portion anymore. So, I'll just wait. Okay, that should be good enough. Now, what we're going to, again, like I said, we're going to talk about Cold Days. Probably works with what we got right now. Cold Days takes place right after Ghost Story. And if you remember Ghost Story was basically Harry Dresden wandering around as a ghost. Harry, and if you're wondering what that noise is in the background, that's a lawnmower outside, so just phase it out. Anyway, he was a ghost running around trying to help his friends without being able to use really any magic. Found out what happened while he was gone. Found basically what his absence with his friends, what happened while he was gone, and it kind of got to you a little bit because you got to see how bad Molly got, how she was living on the streets, the rag lady, and basically was on the run from both, of course, any magical creature and, of course, the White Council. Now, that's one of the things I kind of like with Cold Days, is you don't get a lot of the White Council stuff happening. Mostly because I don't think they'd really know what to do seeing Harry back, even though, of course, he was supposed to be dead. And as we come around, Cold Days, like I said, happens after Harry has been running around as a ghost. We find out, of course, at the end of Ghost Story that actually his spirit had been departed from his body, but was still tethered to it, thanks to Mab and Demon Reach. Now, once he wakes up in Cold Days, he wakes up in a nice, very soft bed, and he finds out that he is in Arctis Tor, Mab's stronghold. He goes through really, really intense rehabilitation, thanks to Mab and his PT, his physical therapist, Sarissa, who he finds out is a changeling, which means, for those of you who don't know, which means that she is the offspring of a human and a fae. So, and one day she'll have to choose whether or not she will be full fae or reject her fae and be a human. So, but anyways, he goes through all this, finds out that the day he comes out to the to Mab as her full-fledged knight is his birthday, which everybody knows, of course, is Halloween, October 31st. So he goes out. They have a big birthday party for him. All the people in the things in Arctis Tor. He meets up with the Earl King, Eldest Gruff, which we saw in Small Favor. And also Santa Claus, Kris Kringle. Ho ho diesel. After that, he is told that he needs to find a way to stop the big bad thing from happening, and he only has 24 hours. So Mab lets him leave. Now, when I mean lets him leave is because she locked down Fae. All of Fae. Nobody could get out whatsoever. But Harry is allowed out, and he is followed by basically his valet, or his Batman, Cat Sith, which is one of the Mab's greatest servants. He's a Mulk, which looks like a large cat-like creature that would kill you rather than do anything else to you. And they can talk. So, yeah. So Harry goes out, tries to find people to help him. He gets help thanks to, of course, the Mulk, Cat Sith. Toot Toot and his group comes back. Pizza, pizza, pizza! They come back to help out they are known as the the soldiers of winter. They're now all wearing winter stuff, which means, stuff like wintergreen tinfoil, thanks to all that stuff. So yeah, they're winter now, and they're happy because they're underneath the Zaw Lord. Anyways, they are later, after being attacked by other fairies, they are saved thanks to a young woman who we all know as Molly. Molly tells him that she's really gotten her life together. It's still kind of rocky in some places, but she's being helped by the Stallballs, which are basically a type of fae that can work with cold iron. I believe that was what they were. At the same time, the only reason that they did what they did for her is because they honor her and she honors them. So, yeah. So, with this, you find out that he has to get back. Of course, he gets back Bob. Of course, we need to get back Bob. And he goes to get Mouse, which is hard for him to do because Mouse, as you know, in Ghost Story, you find out Mouse is actually protecting his daughter, Maggie. Once he gets everybody together, he tries to figure out what's going on. Now, I won't give you everything about the story. That's just not good. Well, it's really getting dark out there. One moment. There, that's better. That light from the back was causing it. So, anyways, we'll give you everything in the middle. Towards the end, you find out that outsiders are in on this. He has to fight them. Finds out that Demon Reach is actually a prison for all the major baddies. And when I mean the major baddies, remember the Skinwalker? Yeah, the Skinwalker. That is basically what would be considered minimum security prisoner. It would be a Skinwalker. That makes you think about what else is down there. And there's thousands upon thousands of things down there. And it was created by Merlin. Not the Merlin, or some of my friends who play the BESM version Dresden Files. No, he's not Gandalf or Dumbledore. It's Merlin, the original. Except no substitutes. And he did it in several different time frames. So, this is the ultimate right there. In the end, which this is why I'm going to the very end to kind of talk about what's going to happen towards what we're thinking is going to happen in Skin Game, which is the next one, which will be out May 27th. At the end of Cold Days, we have a brand new Lady Summer and brand new Lady Winter. Lady Summer turns out to be Sarissa, which we find out Sarissa is actually the daughter of Mab. You might wonder, well, what happened to Lily? She gets killed. Yeah, she gets killed by Maeve. What happens to Maeve? Maeve dies. And who takes up her mantle? Molly does. So yes, poor Molly, who has finally gotten her life together, now has to deal with the powers of Winter Lady. Now, think of this, because afterwards, Harry is stuck on the island. Well, he's not really stuck, but he's on the island. He's got a mouse with him. He's got Bob with him. He's going to commune with the island itself because he found out that this thing is way more powerful than he ever thought. So that's where we leave him. Now, from what we've heard from, synopsis of the next book, it's basically going to be about Mab fulfilling a debt. To who, you may ask? It seems like it's going to be Nicodemus. And we all know who Nicodemus is. For those of you who don't know Nicodemus, I'm not going into them. You've got to read the books, okay? Let's just put it this way. There's these creatures called Denarians. They are part of the Order of the Black and Denarius. They have fallen angels inside them. So, yeah, that's Nicodemus's crew. He and I love the way they did. They didn't give a lot. And myself, I'm not listening to the readings that Jim Butcher's done. I'm not reading the released chapters, because if I don't want to listen to that, I don't want to read that. I want to read the book. I want to see what's going to happen. And this is important too, because Cold Days, I believe, is number 15 in the series. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I've got them all sitting over there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, no, it's not number 15. It's like 13 or 14, depending on what you're counting. Jim Butcher himself said he'd only actually do 20 books. So we're coming up towards the end here. And a lot of people are wondering what's going to happen. Are we going to find out who this Black Council is? Will the Grey Council come back? Will he ever be able to find out who his grandmother was? Because this is something my wife and I were actually talking about. Since they say magical power goes through the maternal line. Well, who was Maggie? Who was Maggie? Maggie Dresden, which is, of course, Harry's mother, also known as Maggie McCoy. LaFay. Who was her mother? Because we know who her father is, but we don't know who her mother was. And I would love to know who that was, just to find out if there's any reason why, unless of course it's just playing of genetics. If that's the case, then we don't have to worry about it, They always say don't go ahead and think magic is a fix-all, because it's not. You got to go ahead and really think about all the other little stuff. That's why Harry's really good at math. But I'm wondering, if they'll ever give that up. If they'll never ever give up, what's going to be the fate of Maggie, Harry's daughter? Will she gain magic powers like he did, or will she be a vanilla mortal? Will he ever make an appearance in her life, other than, of course, that guy that's just standing off in the corner, watching this little girl that has lost her mother and father? Granted, she's with probably the best people in the world to really be with, the Carpenters. I mean, if there's anybody that can handle, kids, it's them. But, I want to see what's going to happen. I want to see what will happen, because there's a lot of things that honestly, they left open from the very beginning. I mean, I want to find out who this Black Council is, so that we can find out who has been basically stringing everything along since the very beginning. I know Cal's got to be one of them. I wonder if we're going to see some Jade vampires. I know there's not going to be any more Reds, but, there might be something going on. So, I know this has kind of been more ranty than anything else, but you know what? I wanted to talk about this, and I didn't want to give too much away of Cold Days, and I don't know a lot about what's going to happen with Skin Game. And I like that, because honestly, if I know more about the book that I'm going to be reading, I may not want to read the book. And it's not because of I may not like the book. It's mainly because if I read the book, I will know more about what's going to happen, and I will have more moments of, oh, I can't believe they did this, which I hate doing. So, those of you out there, you guys have a good day, great weekend. Hope you enjoy the comic tomorrow. If you don't enjoy the comic, I'm sorry, but I hope you did. And for everybody, for all you mothers out there, because it's Mother's Day this weekend. So for all you mothers out there, happy Mother's Day. All you kids out there, please be nice to your moms. And all you grown people out there with your moms, please treat them very well. Okay? So, happy Mother's Day. Have a good one. See you next week. Bye.
Time for go to bed.